Wow. And I'm sitting here with the one and only Michael Bell.
Hey.
What's going on, dude?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming out. I hit you up about a month ago and asked you to be a guest on the show. One, because, you're actually one of my clients. You actually hired me to inspect one of your condos, and that was January 9th of 2020. I looked it up.
Oh, wow. You had the date logged down, huh?
Yeah, well, I have all that information.
Yeah.
I have backups of everything. So I just searched your name, and there you were. I'm like, oh, wow, that was like 3 days after my birthday back in 2020. So, yeah. So anyway, what happened to that condo?
You brought up some issues, and I tried to address it with the realtor, obviously to speak to the other realtor.
Yeah.
And that realtor, the opposing realtor, whatever you want to call that, the seller realtor, didn't want to talk about those issues. Like, just said like it is what it is. And like, I don't know. I mean, the condo was good, the price was good, but I don't know, it was a red flag for me. And usually where there's smoke, there's fire. And then we did check, I think, the insurance on that. And I could think there had been 3 claims of like water damage in that condo.
Oh, I think I remember you telling me that now.
Yeah. So I was just like, nah, I don't want to take a chance.
Yeah, I found mold behind the water here.
Yeah, you pointed it out to me.
Yeah, and that HVAC system, I don't think anyone's touched that thing in centuries.
Yeah, it could have been just filter, but man, it was bad, But and then I remember the stench from the restroom that you pointed out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Now it's all coming back to me.
Yeah. So I probably could have invested some money to put some work into it, but I wasn't sure really how much I was going to invest in at the time. I was just like, nah, I'll pass. Yeah. I'll look for something else, right. And then COVID happened, and then, everything changed, so.
Yeah. COVID hit, and my industry boomed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely insane for that entire year. So many people were calling. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? This is crazy.
Yeah, I was surprised too. Like, I was actually living in a place in Altadena at the time, and the landlord where I was living at, we had this deal. She's a friend of a friend of mine. We became good friends, and she was living in Hayward, California.
Okay.
But she owned the house, but she was married. She lived out there. She rented to me, because I told her I'd take care of the house. I'd take care of all the maintenance and the utilities and everything like that. She didn't have to worry about it. So like, she gave me a good deal, so we never signed a lease agreement. But the deal was, whenever she wanted to sell or move back, she would just let me know, of course, and then I'd leave. And that's when she hit me up, said she was going to sell the house because she was going to buy a bigger house she was having kids with her husband. Okay. So that's when I contacted you. I was like, maybe I should buy a place, and do another one of those, live in it for a little bit, rent it out, and buy, look for another place to buy.
Yeah.
But that place that we checked out was it wasn't giving that warm fuzzy feeling that you get, or like, let's take a chance on this one. Nah.
All right, I got you. So you just passed on it. That's cool. I mean, it happens. Some people are they want a turnkey house. They just want to walk in and just, hey, it's all good to go. Let's do this. And then, you do have a lot of sellers. And I'll be honest with you, it's really, the sellers typically just don't know what's going on with their houses.
Yeah.
But for a realtor to just go, oh, well, that's how it is. I mean, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
That's just I don't know. Not a good realtor right there.
Yeah. And I don't have a problem. It doesn't have to be turnkey for me. Like, I don't mind
a little bit of work,
especially if the dollars make sense with the deal or whatever,
Right.
Some work I can do on my own, and then some work, obviously, I'll hire a contractor, but, with an understanding of what the market value of some of that work is. But, when I'm not sure what the price range is going to be on all that work, I was like, nah, I'll pass.
Yeah, I hear you. Anyway, so have you bought anything else?
I actually bought a few properties in Pennsylvania.
So how'd you wind up doing that? I mean, why Pennsylvania? Why not Alaska?
Well, you know what it was? I had been looking to buy another investment property, and then a friend of a friend, but it's someone I knew. Her name was Amy. What's her last name? I think Lindvall. She owns a company called Investment Properties, and we got in contact because she had always been posting on social media about like all these properties that, for sale, you know, like whether it's a, fix and flip or rental property or BRR. And I just hit her up, was just like, hey, like I'd love to pick your brain sometime about what it is that you actually do. Like, hey, do you have property management? Do you have,
Sure.
And it was like she has like an all-inclusive business, so I think her boyfriend, Brandon, and a few other people gave me some stuff. I checked it out, played with some numbers and stuff like that. And I took a chance on that one, after checking it out, and they've been successful for me.
So you went out there and checked them out yourself in person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You
didn't buy it sight unseen.
No.
You went out there and checked it out. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And like I said, good relationship. They've been taking care of me. Obviously being a property owner, investor from far away, to where. Same
here.
Yeah. It's, you have to have reliable people that can, take care of any issues where you're gone. And they've been that so far.
That's good. It's hard to find a really good property management company. I have an awesome one in Nevada. And I just had a phone conversation with my property manager over there because I decided first of all, the house you're sitting in right now, I just bought this in November.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Yeah, I just bought this. So that's why this is my first podcast of the new year. Because I've been a busy little beaver. So at the same time I was in the process of buying this, I started thinking, well, maybe it's time to sell my Vegas property. I've had that thing since 2004. So, and it's done great for me. But I was just thinking, can I take advantage of this high dollar amount right now and really cash out on this thing? But I think I tried that a little bit too late. So what I did was my realtor said, hey, maybe you should come down the price. I said, nope, I don't need to come down on the price because I don't need to sell it. I just thought it'd be a good idea if I could get top dollar for it. And turns out I got an offer, but it was about $15,000 lower than what I was asking. And then it really was hitting me hard, like, little guy sitting on my shoulder saying, don't sell it. Don't sell it. Don't sell it. So everybody I know that knows real estate, I'm like, hey, by the way, what do you think? Don't sell it. Everyone's like, don't sell it.
Yeah.
So I told her, I said, you know what? I'm not going to let go of this. She goes, John, I don't blame you. I thought she would be pissed off because she went through all the process of getting it advertised and she had a photographer do some great photos. I said, look, I will totally reimburse you for your expenses. This is my decisions. You're doing a great job. And I said, another reason why I'm keeping this is because you guys do such a great job managing this property for me. It's been so painless dealing with you guys. And she was like, wow. I said, yeah, I'm serious. I mean, if I had a really hard time with a property management company and I probably would have just dumped it on that person that had made the offer. So anyways, I rejected that person's offer, took it off the market, and now we're going to get a renter in there. And I'll just be, making double my mortgage again like I was.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's been a good positive cash flow investment for me for at least the past 6 years.
Oh, good for you.
So that's good stuff. That's what you want to get when you get that mortgage down low enough, and all of a sudden, everything starts switching, and all of a sudden you get all this cash flow. It's like it's sweet stuff.
Well, that's my house in Santa Clarita right now. That's what it does for me.
Good.
Like I bought it in the end of 2003, like right before it started climbing real big, and I thought about selling it in 2006. Like actually, and then, moving here to Burbank in an apartment, I was seeing,
nice.
Someone at the time, she lived in Burbank and I missed the boat, I didn't do it, I stuck it out. I didn't have one of those crazy mortgages that people had at that time.
Right.
I had a good, 30-year fix, the traditional one, it all worked out. But then, I got tired of commuting. From Santa Clarita to, places like West LA or Hollywood where I was working at the time when I was with Trader Joe's. So I decided to rent it out and then, move closer. Yeah.
People have mentioned to me in the past, why don't you move up that way, Santa Clarita and stuff. And I said, it's just not for me. It's just it's too far off the beaten path for me too, because there's a lot of stuff I like to do. Actually, here's the funny thing. Just before just before the pandemic hit, whatever you want to call it. Just before that hit, I was renting in La Crescenta.
Oh, really?
The townhome I was renting. Now, this is the first house I've bought in 12 years.
Oh, wow.
I've been renting for 12 years. And I got to be honest with you, I loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a chance to bounce around, check out different cities.
Yeah.
And you know what? Burbank was the spot. I had to buy here. So anyway, back when the pandemic hit, I had just decided, you know what? I want to get to Muay Thai classes faster. I want to get to more Muay Thai classes. I want to get to my guitar classes easier. Everything I do is right around Burbank. So I found a rental in Burbank. And then, bam, everything shut down. Muay Thai school disappeared. Still went to my guitar class, of course, which is literally, I can walk there in 2 minutes.
Wow.
It's right down the street.
How long you been playing for?
About 5 years.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, I'm still a student. I struggle like hell, but it's fun. I did it to play AC/DC songs.
Oh, you know.
Look, I'm a huge fan of AC/DC. So I just want to learn how to play AC/DC songs. Do I got to do this whole course? My teacher's like, yes. And I'm glad he did. I'm glad he made me do it because now I'm a better guitarist.
Yeah, my buddy who officiates, Mike Beltran, you know, the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he just had surgery, so he's out for a while. So he just bought a guitar. He's trying to learn himself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo is the one that got him into it. It's
nice.
Hey, you got to learn.
Yeah.
So
Eddie, yeah. Have you seen Eddie lately?
Just randomly passing by at the airport, I think, sometime last year. I haven't done any of his. He does this thing, the Eddie Bravo Invitational and Combat Jiu-Jitsu. I've worked a few of those shows, but I haven't seen him. Well, he hasn't been doing them as much in California. He's been doing it in either like Texas or Mexico or other places around the world. Well,
let's let the listeners know. Those people who don't know who Michael is, tell them who you are.
Well, my main job is with Boeing Aerospace. I work managing government property for them. But as a side job, I officiate combat sports, mainly refereeing and judging mixed martial arts, and then sometimes kickboxing and boxing as well.
That's some cool shit. Now let's go down memory lane here. This is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah.
Okay. First of all, everybody listening, listen up. Mike and I met back in 2005 when Big John McCarthy's Ultimate Training Center opened. And, we didn't know each other. I just walked in. I didn't know anybody there. Lou Salcida is the one that kept telling me about it. And I was at John Jacques Machado's training, just mostly gi jiu-jitsu. But probably a year before that is when I really started getting this itch to learn a lot of no-gi. But he wasn't, John Jacques School wasn't really doing that. He just didn't, it was very rare if anybody was doing it like, oh, hey, those guys are going no-gi. But it was like once every 3 months. It just wasn't an ongoing thing. And I started thinking, wow, I wouldn't mind get into that. And then some of his students, one that comes to mind is Ben. Guy was brutal, man. Young guy. He had a wrestling background, and he would ankle pick me so quick. And I'm like, well, dude, why do I keep winding up on my back with you? He goes, I just keep ankle picking. I didn't even realize what he was doing. He just did it so well, I didn't know anything about it, but then he started teaching me that stuff. I'm like, oh, this wrestling shit's cool. So I wanted to get more into wrestling.
Oh, wait a second, Ben. Younger kid.
He's an LAPD cop now, I believe.
Is he? I want to say I met, if it's the same one. Did he train at the Lions Den in San Diego?
Yeah, I think he did some MMA fights too.
Yeah. I ran into that guy at CSUN at a frat party.
No way.
Back in the day. Yeah. People were saying, oh yeah, hey Mike, this guy right over here, he does jiu-jitsu as well too. He does with the Lions Den. I'm like, what? And we started rapping. Of course, like when you see another jiu-jitsu guy, especially in like the early 2000s, you guys nerd out together and start talking about stuff.
Nerd out, exactly.
And years later, I think he came to Dunn's class and he said he was training at John Jacques. I think it's the same guy.
It's got to be. Dark black hair.
Yeah.
Just aggressive looking features. Like he was
great shape. Yeah,
he was ripped.
Yeah. That's him, dude.
Gorilla strength. He was so fucking strong.
Oh yeah.
He would just trash everybody. Just from his wrestling experience, he just made everybody look like an idiot.
Well, John Jacques had killers over there, anyways.
Yeah,
I was training. I was training at David Dunn's, who's a student of John Jacques, and an excellent black belt himself.
Yep.
But he would take a few of us down to John Jacques Machado's to train, And that's where you met like guys like Todd White, Jamie Walsh, who was a killer on the map
Jamie,
too. Mark Marilla's. Oh man,
I rode with all those guys.
Yeah, Lou Salcedo, as you mentioned, he actually came when we were getting our blue belts, like me, Neil, and this guy Mike DeLuca Jr.
You mean Neil Abrams?
Oh yeah, Neil Abrams. Yeah, you know Neil Abrams. I've been training with all my life. Real good friend. Actually, was roommates and cornered him in several of his fights. But like we'd go down there and train with those killers, and as you know, when you train in a small pool and you think you're like the big fish in the pond, and then you go to a bigger fish pond with like the fishes that are real killers, and you just feel like you know nothing about jiu-jitsu.
Like the old saying goes, there's always somebody bigger and badder out there. It's just, there's just too many guys out there that'll just fuck you up.
There's just levels to this shit.
Exactly. The strength levels, the performance levels. It's crazy. But you just mentioned some names that, you know, Jamie Walsh, great guy. And he tough as nails, dude. He did some MMA, some small MMA events. I remember a few times. I went out there. Neil Abrams, I used to sponsor.
Yeah,
I used to train with Neil all the time. I thought he's one of my main reasons I kept going back to Big John's.
Well, he's the main reason I went to Big John's.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Well, because we were training at Dunn's, and at the time I was working at a Trader Joe. I decided to take a promotion and transfer to Trader Joe's in Bakersfield. Driving from Santa Clarita, that's a bad idea. I changed my mind on that real quick. You know? But I had left Dunn's at the time, and then I needed to come back to train, and he was deciding to go ahead and train over at Big John's at that time, and I'd always trained with him, so it was natural for me to take that transition. Plus, a guy that we started with, Mike Ortiz, decided to go over there.
I like Mike; he's funny.
Oh, Mike's the best, dude. I wish he was still teaching now. I'd drive far just to get to train with him.
Here's a great little story for you. So I'm taking Mike's class one time, right, at Big John's, and we're just doing our thing, and I'm new. I'm the new guy. I'm the new guy in the class. And I didn't know him well. I didn't know anybody else in the class, so I'm just a new kid on the block, and I'm just kind of sitting there in my own business, listening to what his instructions are. And he's like, "So John, I want you to come over here and show us an arm lock." And I'm looking, I'm like, huh? What? Now, I've been training for a while. I believe I was purple when I got over there.
Oh, wow.
So I was a purple belt when I came over there. So I'm looking at him like, what are you talking about, an arm lock? And he's kind of looking at me like he's waiting for me to do something. I was like, Mike, what are you referring to? Are you joking? No, I shit you not. I've never heard anyone use the term arm lock until I got into his class. It was always arm bar, arm lock. I'm like, what's he talking about? A wrist lock? I mean, what was he talking about? And we just had the biggest laugh about it because I just never heard the term before. I just never heard anybody put it that way. Coming from John Jocks, you know, it was pretty funny stuff.
That's a Hicks and Gracie term right there for it. Okay. You know?
Yeah.
Which is where he came from. You know, so.
I remember that. And we both had a good laugh about it later. But anyway, you know, when you and I met there, I can't remember rolling with you.
We only rolled a few times. I think our schedules were different.
Yeah.
You know, we would train a lot. But I do remember rolling with you because I remember your strength surprised me. You know, because we were always used to rolling with bigger guys. So I think we were always used to bigger strength. So when we rolled with someone like our size, we thought like,
he'll go easy.
Yeah, he'll go easy. You know, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, this guy's stronger than I thought right here. Like I feel that underhook and it's a lot tighter than I think it should be. I'm going to have to work the pummel inside. You know?
I don't remember that, but I'm glad you did.